Shane is with us. Shane is in Indianapolis. Hi, Shane. How are you?
Hey, Dave. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
Well, great. My wife and I are seeing a move in the next 1 to 3 years. I'm debt free other than my house. I owe $115,000 on the house right now. And I have $125,000 in cash. And then I also have $20,000 of an emergency fund.
Way to
so
go.
I'm wondering, thanks. So I'm wondering, do I pay out the house now, or
Yeah, sure.
knowing that we're probably going to move, in the next 1 to 3 years, do I continue on the path that I'm on of just stacking away cash, or?
I'll pay it off, and then you can stack more cash because you don't have a house payment.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
That's impressive. Shane,
All right.
how did you save up $125,000? I'm just curious.
We just kind of had a wildly important goal of my wife staying at home, and we thought the best path of doing this, is to pay off the house and to remain debt free. So early on, we started off. We took your Financial Peace University before we got married, and we've kind of just always lived by your rules and principles. So.
You're doing extremely well. I'm very proud of you. Let's back into why I said to do that, okay?
Okay.
You're going to move anyway. Obviously,
Yep.
You know that when you sell the house, they're going to give you a check. So you're not losing the money. You're not spending the money. You're not consuming the money. It's just changing positions, which asset it's parked in, right? And so you're doing away with a mortgage, and your interest rate is higher than your savings rate on your savings account. So you're mathematically going to win a tiny, tiny bit there, but it's not really worth doing it for that. What will happen is this, and this is what it took me probably 15 or 20 years of doing this before I really gave credit to this, because I'm a math nerd. I wanted everything to be a math thing. But here's the weird thing. You make different decisions with a paid-for house.
Yeah.
You just do, because your headspace, where you are spiritually, where you are relationally changes. And so I'm not saying you'll stay because it's paid for. I'm saying you're going to kind of feel very confident, edging on cocky as a seller, because I don't have to sell it. And
Right.
I'm going to get a price, and there's nothing pushing this. There's no I just don't have to be in a hurry because I don't have any payments. Also, you're going to be able to pile up cash like a crazy man because you don't have the house payment anymore. That works too. And you're obviously very good at that. Congratulations again. I'm very impressive. But
Thanks.
Even stuff like another wave of COVID comes through, or just a wave of political stupidity comes through, which seems to be coming in the tsunami level these days. But if you just keep this, something comes through, all these external variables that we don't have control over, our spirits and our decision making is much cleaner and wiser when we're sitting in a paid-for house than when we're sitting with $115,000, $120,000 in the bank and not a paid-for house. It's just weird. And there's no math to it. It's just the borrower is slave to the lender, and the slave, when he no longer has a master, is known as free. And it just, think about a slave and how their mentality changes. And there is something to that is beyond just the apparent mathematics.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only that, but you're saving on the interest you're going to pay to this bank. You're freeing up the payment. And you said at the beginning you have this wildly important goal so that your wife can stay home. And so if you can do that earlier now with a paid-for house, this is fantastic news.
Well, she's probably already done it. I mean, it's incredible. Very, very well done. Sharp young couple. And I'm glad that what we do at Ramsey was able to add value to somebody like that's life.
Yeah.
Very
more of that. I want to see that happen all over the country.
I mean, what problems to have? I have the money in the bank to pay off my house. Should I do it? This is a much better question than I'm 4 payments behind.
Yes.
How do I stop the foreclosure? Yeah. Because we have done detailed research, and 100% of the foreclosures occur on a home with a mortgage.
Ironclad data.
It's just straight up. There's no question about it. So there's risk associated with it, and we just do not perceive the risk because we all understand that housing is such a good investment. Real estate is such a stable investment by and large. And so we don't assign any emotionally and spiritually any risk to the process. Now, Shane wasn't pushing back, but some of your, Dave Ramsey lost his mind. He told that 32-year-old guy to pay off his house. He should have been telling him to. No, Dave's not lost his mind. The instructions I gave him were the shortest distance between where he is now and wealthy. And we know this from the millionaire data.
Yeah, and we're seeing this where a lot of people have a stack of cash and they go, well, Dave, it doesn't make sense to pay off the house. I could invest that.
Yeah.
The market's doing so well right now.
It is.
But those people have never felt the feeling of having a paid-for house with no mortgage payment.
And here's the thing, too. If you don't think there's an emotional element to it, just reverse the process. What if you were sitting with $10,000 in the bank instead of $125,000 and your house was paid for? Would you go borrow $115,000 on your house in order to put it in the bank and have $125,000 in the bank with a mortgage? Reverse the process. And I would say 98% of the time I ask the question in reverse like that, people just go, well, no. But it's a trick question because it tricks you to thinking with your heart, not just your head. And your heart's where you measure risk. Your math's where you do math.
Ooh, that was good.
Your head's where you do math. Your heart's where you measure risk. And you just kind of, you have almost a visceral reaction to that. It's like, no, I wouldn't do that. But, well, it's the same thing.
Yeah, you get excited about seeing that money grow in an investment, but you don't take into account the risk when you do that.
But when you talk about borrowing money on a paid-for house, you feel the risk for the first time.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, all of your, in quotes, air quotes, sophisticated math goes out the window.
Yep.
Yeah, I say air quotes because it's not sophisticated, because you left out risk, and sophisticated math would include risk. This is The Ramsey Show.